call sign, and that's the call sign they'll be using when they establish communication with the ISS. Eric, we should be coming up on 59 now, I guess. We'll go with the formal. Claudio's with you?
Yes, I'm here, ready for the script.
Ciao, Claudio. And I'm getting a little feedback here, Eric.
Okay.
It's been quite a day here, Claudio. How are things in Italy?
Excuse me, please?
How are things in Italy? Are you all ready to go?
Yes, I'm ready. All the systems are ready to go.
Okay, that's great. Then we're going to start the formal portion of the presentation.
Okay.
To our audience, I'm still getting feedback here, Eric.
We have now T minus 5 minutes from now.
Okay, I'm still getting ringing, Eric. Is there anything I can do? Get closer? Okay. Hang on to your ears. Okay, to our audience here at Teschen Goodman Library, and to the friends joining us through the simulcast, a very warm welcome. My name is Wayne Harrisimovich. My amateur radio call sign is VE1WPH, and I have the pleasure of being part of the ARISS Canada mentor team. There's 3 of us that support educational outreach through the ARISS program here in Canada. Through the help of amateur radio, in a very short period of time, we'll be speaking with astronaut Serena Aunon-Chancellor, who has been on the International Space Station since early June of this year. She'll be coming back home around the 20th of December, I think. We do have a Canadian astronaut going up on the 3rd as well, David Saint-Jacques. So, or let me pronounce that correctly, David Saint-Jacques. He likes it to be called David. And in any event, I'm sure Serena will be looking forward to coming home. But for now, I'm sure she's looking forward to speaking to the youngsters we have ready to go here. They've been anxiously waiting and have been very, very patient. At the onset, I might as well mention that these youngsters have been waiting for better than 2 months. We did have an ARISS contact planned for late, I guess it was September, during IMP Family Days. And unfortunately, we weren't able to complete that contact because of some timing issues. However, the ARISS program is about inspiration and not about disappointment. So the entire team of volunteers stepped forward, and working with the NASA folks, we were able to establish this contact. And typically they don't do contacts on Saturdays, but for this group, Serena was more than happy to step forward. It was interesting too to note that as she looks out the cupola window on the station, she sees Canadarm2. The folks at IMP Electronics actually did some of the wiring harnessing for not just Canadarm2, but also for the shuttle's Canadarm, and as well as a number of other orbiting satellites, radar, sat, and whatnot. So there's a lot of activity in that little building out on Hammonds Plains Road that people don't realize. Eric, how are we doing for time there? 3:03? Okay. So before we run out of time here, I think it's probably a good idea to check in with Claudio Auditore, and I can't remember how to pronounce the name of your community there, Claudio, but I have been on the web and looking at some of the beautiful architecture in your location in northern Italy. Can you tell us maybe a little bit about your location, how you expect to conduct the communication with ISS today, and then we'll be getting ready to go ahead with our contact.
Oh, okay, thank you, Wayne, for your presentation. Briefly, our Telebridge station is located in Casale Monferrato Airport, in northwest of Italy, 100 kilometers from Turin and Milan. When T minus 30 seconds, I go to call Serena aboard the ISS, operating today with Oscar Remo 4 India Sierra Sierra call sign, and as soon as signal will be loud and clear, I will invite the student to start with first question. For the students, please don't forget to say over, because this is a very important thing to coordinate the conversation between us and the astronaut. Now see the ISS approaching to Italy. In this moment, we have T minus 45 seconds from now. 45 seconds. Okay, microphone back to you, Wayne.
Okay then, well, we're very short on time now, so I will remind everybody in the audience here that you've seen some of it today. This is a little bit like an experiment. We don't know the outcome until the experiment is actually complete. So we thank you very much for your patience. And with just probably less than 30 seconds now before we call to station, we would like to thank Claudio and wish you good luck, and we'll see you on the other side, Claudio. Ciao.
Okay, Wayne. In this moment, we have the AOS, so I'm calling now. Oscar Romeo 4, India Sierra Sierra. This is India Kilo 1, Sierra Lima Delta, Telebridge ground station, calling for a schedule ARISS contact. Do you copy? Serena, over.
IK1SLD, this is OR4ISS. How do you copy?
Okay, Oscar Romeo 4, India Sierra Sierra, IK1SLD. Good evening, Serena. Your signal is loud and clear now. Today from Italy, we introduced the IMP Aerospace and Defense in Canada. Are you ready for first question? Serena, over.
Yes, I'm ready for the first question, and hello, Canada. Over.
Okay, go ahead, Chloe.
Hi, my name is Chloe, and my question is, what happens when you sneeze in space? Over.
Hi, Chloe. It's kind of interesting. If you're not holding on to anything, and depending on how forceful your sneeze is, you can actually blow yourself in the opposite direction, and that happened to me once the first week I was up here. Over.
Hi, my name is Shingan. What kind of physical training do you have to go through before going into space? Over.
So we have a lot of physical training that we do on the ground. We do a lot of running and weightlifting for actually many years before we go into space. And then we exercise every day in space up here, about 2 hours. Over.
Hi, my name is Bria. Do you believe signs of life, past or present, will be found in our solar system? Over.
Hi, Bria. I get this question a lot, and I'd have to say I believe there's got to be more than what's on planet Earth. I don't know what that is, but certainly us starting off in low Earth orbit is a good first step to finding out. Over.
Hi, my name is Ella. What is the coolest thing you've seen from the space station? Over.
Hi, Ella. The coolest thing I've seen up here has got to be the aurora, actually the northern lights, which I saw over Canada just the other day, because those lights are really alive. There are multiple colors, and we see them dancing, and for us, the view is absolutely spectacular. Over.
Hi, my name is Ruin. How do you handle a medical issue in space, especially if they're light-threatening? Over.
Hi, Raylan. So we have a lot of medical kits up on board to help us out, and we actually have doctors on the ground that help look out after us. But certainly if someone gets very, very sick, then the crew comes home. Over.
What's it like to be an astronaut? Over.
Hi. So it's actually pretty cool, especially right now since we're flying in space and I get to float to work every day and float back to my bedroom at night, which is about the size of a telephone booth, so you guys probably have bigger bedrooms than I do. But it is really, really fun to be up here, especially because of all the science experiments we get to do. Over.
Hi, my name is Tyler. What does it feel like inside the ISS? Over.
Hi, Tyler. So when we first came on board the ISS, when we opened the hatch from our Soyuz to the inside part, it actually had a burnt electrical smell, and that was actually the smell of the outer portion of our hatch. Once you get into ISS, it really has not much of a smell at all. In fact, right now, I don't really smell anything, and I have to say that the smells of Earth are so much better than the smells we have up here. Over.
Hi, my name is Trevor. Is there any food grown at the space station?
Yes, Trevor, we are actually growing kale and lettuce right now in the Columbus module, and we have enough for about a small salad to share between the three of us. Over.
I am Trevin asking a question for Melina. How do you do laundry on the ISS? Over.
So we're actually not able to do laundry up here. We wear our clothes for a couple days. In fact, we have one shirt per week, one pair of underwear per 3 days, and one pair of pants per 2 months. And then we throw them out and start again. Over.
How do you keep your house?
Okay, I'll ask a question. How does your spacesuit stay warm? Over.
All right, I copy that. How does your spacesuit stay warm? So our spacesuits stay warm by the multiple layers of protection that they have, and interestingly enough, one of our biggest problems during a spacewalk is cooling, meaning cooling of the person inside. If our fans shut down inside that spacesuit, the person gets overheated very quickly. Over.
Hi, my name is Chloe, and my question is, in order to maintain altitude or avoid orbital debris or reboost or avoidance maneuver is performed, can you feel that taking place inside the ISS? Over.
Hi, Chloe. Great question. Sometimes you can. If you're right above where those engines are being lit to perform the reboost, you can feel a slight shudder or a rumble. I have not felt that up here yet, but some of my crewmates say they have. Over.
Hi, my name is Cheyenne. How long did it take for you to adjust to the weightless environment on the ISS? Over.
So I think, even now we're still adjusting. Certainly at first we were not very graceful floating around, and we would run into a lot of walls, and we didn't learn how to hold on to things with our feet. And now, being up here for almost 6 months, we're all very, very good at that, and so we move along a lot more gracefully. But I think our bodies continue to adapt every day. Over.
Hi, my name is Bria. How does life spent on the underwater training laboratory Aquarius compare to life on ISS? Over.
Well, besides the floating up here, which is way more cool than Aquarius, I'd have to say that Aquarius is very, very similar because we have science experiments to do during the day. We talk with a mission control with Aquarius just the same as we do here. So our days are very, very similar. Over.
Hi, my name is Ella. Is it noisy or quiet in the space station? Over.
So most of the time, you just hear a very low background hum of all the machinery in every module, and every module sounds different. Some modules have a little less noise than others. We certainly don't have to wear any earplugs up here. We only do that when we're running on the treadmill, because that does make a lot of noise. Over.
Hi, my name is Raylan. What do you do when there's health concern astronauts have to deal with? Over.
I think some of the biggest health concerns that we deal with up here are changes in our eyes, and there's a part of the eye called the optic nerve, which is a big nerve that runs into the back of your eye, and they've seen some changes in that nerve, and sometimes it causes changes in how the astronaut is able to read things on a piece of paper. So we follow those changes in the eyes very, very closely. Over.
What's your favorite space meal? Over.
So my favorite space meal is still ice cream, always will be ice cream. We don't get it very often because obviously it has to come up frozen, but we just had a new cargo vehicle, Cygnus, dock a week ago, and they had a little tiny freezer, and they sent up ice cream for the crew. Over.
Hi, my name is Tyler. How do astronauts take a shower in space? Over.
Hi, Tyler. So we actually do not take showers in space, and that may sound kind of disgusting, but we have these special washcloths that we use that we wet with water, and then it's got soap inside of them, and we're able to scrub ourselves down pretty good. But we don't actually have that nice hot shower that you guys enjoy in the morning. Over.
Hi, my name is Trevor. Does the entire crew gather for meals? Over.
Yes, we always gather together for dinner every night, sometimes for lunch, breakfast, because we don't have too much time in the morning to get ready. We usually get up, have our coffee, read the news, and then we're starting work pretty quickly. Over.
I am Trevin asking a question for Malia. What do you do in your spare time for entertainment over?
So actually tonight is one of the times we spend more time together as a crew because we have movie night every Saturday night and we all take turns picking the movie and we even have special movie candy that we bring and we get to eat. And so that's one of the main things we like to do to enjoy our time off on the weekends. Over.
How do you know this? How do you know how to go to bed at night? Over.
I think I copied that question, how do you know when to go to bed at night? And it's funny, our bodies just know. Even though we see the sun rise and set multiple times a day, by the time 10 or 11 p.m. rolls around, we're all pretty tired, and our bodies kind of have shifted to this clock on board the space station, and so we know when it's time to go to bed. Over.
Hello, Serena. My name is Paul Heath. I'm with the Royal Astronomy Society of Canada, Halifax Center, and we'd like to thank you tremendously for being with us for this contact and answering the questions of the children here. Once again, we'd like to thank you very much for...
It's been really fun to hear from all the kids. Have a great rest of your weekend.
Big thank you. Big thank you.
Yeah,
Everybody,
big thank you.
Okay, Claudio, is Serena still with us?
Okay, we have the loss in this moment. Serena, ciao ciao from Italy, and good evening.
Okay,
Ciao, Italy. Appreciate the Telebridge.
Okay, Claudio, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for your participation, and of course to Serena, if she's still with us on ISS. The kids did a great job asking the questions. They went through them rapid fire, and you couldn't ask for anything more than that. So we would like to thank you, Claudio, and your team at IK1SLD. And if I could ask everybody here to give them a round of applause. They do an awful lot of these contacts.
Thank you, Wayne, and thank you to your team at the school for the event in this afternoon. And 73 from Italy, and I hope to meet you again in another contact. 73 from my team, from Emiliano, from Micol, and Giovanni, and Fabio. Bye bye, ciao ciao, thank you.
Grazie, ciao, Claudio. 7-3.
Thank you very much. Great job by the kids.